Hey everybody, welcome to this week's read. I don't have much to contribute in terms of going ons, uh, astrologically or otherwise. Um, does feel like this week is, there's still the intensity of energy hasn't really, let up. Um, and definitely like these solar flares are really interesting because they're coming in X class and stuff like in the middle of the night. Um, so if you're having any trouble sleeping, that could definitely be the thing. I feel like I feel like I'm asleep. I know I'm asleep, but I think I'm just like completely restless. So let's get right to the cards, and I'll try to keep this one short this week because I know sometimes an hour is a long time to have to watch, or it's hard to carve that time out of your day too. So, all right, let's get an overall for the week. That's the one that's kind of stuck. Ooh, oh, okay. Maybe it's gonna be a tumultuous week. Got the tower. Stuff's being shaken and stirred, right? I have faith. All is not lost, and I am committed to my spiritual beliefs, even in times of great pain, ignorance, and suffering. Whew, couldn't sum up the world better right now, could you? Anyway, so yeah, the week ahead. Sorry, it looks like the week ahead could be a little bumpy ride, but as we all know, we've talked about this before. I just had that at 1:44 on the clock, so yeah, definitely. We've talked about how everything kind of has to, unfortunately, burn down to the ground in order for us to, take our next, build our a better foundation for ourselves. So, ooh, I didn't even have to flip that one over. It just flew out. Okay, so this is also my card for, yeah, revolution, evolution, big changes. Oof, I guess we're gonna have a power packed week. That's all right though. It's not our first rodeo, right, guys? We've done this before. We'll get through it again. Um, which is why probably the last couple weeks on that moon was all about really taking care of yourselves because you're gonna need the energy. So, yeah. So change, yeah, big change this week. It looks like is upon us, which is good. It's the change we've been waiting for, needing, that kind of thing. So it's just be interesting to see how this week proceeds. Um, I'm gonna do three of these cards. These are new to me. Um, Living by the Moon, they're called. But I'm gonna take three for the overall week and just see. Um, I won't repeat these again at the end. We'll just do the other two. But I just want to see what are the advice for these tend to be more about self, so let's see if it's about more, what we can do for um, any advice for the week. All right, first up, my body. Oh, it's a nice little moon card. My body is a wondrous and magnificent machine, and I feel privileged to live in it. Awesome. Yeah, so a little bit, I've been having like massive body image issues this. Um, so I'll heed the advice too and start being nicer myself, and just paying attention and caring for this wondrous body, this wonderful machine. All right, so self care is still on the list for this week then. Particularly, that sounds more physical than anything else. What I seek is seeking me. This is just our pure manifestation 101. Um, so yeah, again, carrying on with what we've been doing, keep paying attention to the signs and synchronicities and symbols, right? No coincidences. Everything is happening. There's a reason for it. Um, and just really being in tune with that. And again, just making sure we're doing really good manifestation work. Um, yeah, so another thing I'm just reminded of this next card is I am strong. And the lion just caught my attention, very I've been catching 808, like usually starts this time of year right up until Lionsgate in August. Um, so it's just a reminder that, like, again, that tower, when you look at that tower card, it is a bit frightening, right? There's people falling out of the building, there's lightning, there's like fire. Um, and that is just spirit reminding us that, hey, you wouldn't be here right now. You wouldn't be here right now if you weren't strong enough to handle this. So just keep up, you know, your strength and your physical and spiritual body, and health. So that's the overall theme for the week. Okay, let's break it down into Monday through Wednesday-ish kind of thing to midweek. That's that one. All right. Hmm. Okay, first half of the week. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Whew. Okay. Beginning part of the week. First up, we have a heart chakra card. Birds of a feather. So we all know, as we've gone through this process, we have um, we've lost some friends, we've gained some new ones. Um, just this week, it's just feeling like that last week of like reflecting on ourselves and doing our work. It's now we're craving and needing that gathering. So make sure you're surrounding yourself, if you and hanging out with people that are like-minded, and it almost feels like some conversations need to happen. It's just about kind of like bouncing off the ideas of everything that's going on. And the reason I say that is, like, two cards came up. We have passion and we have the creativity card. So it's like now it's kind of asking us at the beginning part of this week to start putting our heads together and creating new strategies and ways that we're going to be moving forward. So creativity says imagination, expression, originality, and passion. Well, you can't make that up. You also got the passion card. So yeah, this is definitely um, asking us to start coming together and creating. So it's we're not just manifesting our on our own, like we want to be doing that work, but it's like this would be a good week to collectively get together. And it's also like that strength, the strong part from the beginning part of the week is like, let's band together to make it through this little tumultuous time. um, Sometimes, like, just brainstorming with other people is an awesome way to manifest things, to create, right? So we're really being asked to, like, yeah, come out of our shell a bit. It's not a solo project anymore. So we're starting to move into this space of working together. um I want to say this passion thing is like, it's also like you may not fully know what your passions are at this time, or you might, but it's like don't hold back in not, seeking them or using them, you know, and getting out there. I always say this card in particular is also a card about make sure you're, again, it's the birds of a feather card. Make sure, like, she's telling her this fairy tale princess story about how beautiful the outside world is. This person is just like kind of removed, frozen. Um, Underneath the chair is like a newspaper, right? So this the people that are believing this old story, um, that nothing can change, that there is no brighter day coming. So what this is saying is make sure, like, you're not squandering your passion on someone who will never change, right? This energy may never change. So don't do the work of trying to wake up people that are not coming along. It's more important for us to be in a space of creativity with people that are like-minded. Because you are just going to tell the story to this person over and over and over, and you are just wasting your time and wasting your energy. Um, Best thing you can do is, again, um, go find the people, go find the people that are like, you know, your people and that are on the same timeline and storyline as you and that believe in this brighter day, because that's the only way we're going to make it through that tower moment. If like we become, if we're wasting our energy, and we also, there's transference, right? We got to be careful with transference, that they're not putting their muck onto us, right? um so yeah, this week really is coming up about how we make it through, is like keeping our spirit. We're strong enough. We just need to keep our spirit and our energy level up and not squandering or wasting our time this week. Um, it's interesting because then we did get two cards. So we got the mind card. So this is also a really good one to say, like, get out of your own head. And because if you, like, if that, you get into that loop, negative loop, right? um, the best place to also sometimes pull you out of that is other people. So make sure you're actively seeking out those birds of a feather, and just really, you know, it's not so much about quieting the mind. It's just like we might have like a million ideas going on right now, and that's awesome, and that's what we should be doing. But sometimes instead of it just like ruminating in our head and it's like we have to create that. So sometimes it is good to be in a group and be creative with these people and speak your ideas and see where they land and see and express yourself and see what other people are saying or thinking or doing, right? Anyway, so clearing up the mind, not just, and for me, this is like totally the card that's like, we've done a lot of work within our, in solitude and that sort of thing. And that sort of saying that time is over. What we need you to become is the creator, right? The light bringer. So again, like, we are all here on this planet, having an experience, but that is coming directly from source and from creator. And so creator is like experiencing this through us as well. So it's like, you know, it's not just like there's a God out there. It's like we are a piece and a part of that. We are God too. We are the creator too. So this week it's about, yeah, starting to like come out of our shell a little bit and saying, hey, I've got these great ideas. Let's gather the people, let's talk, let's dream, let's all of that. So really coming up for the beginning part of the week to start, and even if you don't, like it's a 1 week, so it's hard to like, you may not be able to meet up with your people, but at least start the conversation about what you're going to do, when you're going to meet, like the planning part of it. So that's the first part of the week. Let's take a look at the second half. Ah, I kind of like that. Yeah, it's just, I would just feel like, obviously the tower moments is like, um the tower moments is it's gonna be like it's 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 gonna be, and it's gonna be happening, and all the stuff's going on in the world. Um but again, to keep our ourselves sane is like rely on, other people and meeting up with them. All right. End of the week. Let's see what we got. Oops. Interesting. Ooh. Wow. Dropping cards. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's interesting because it's like we've been told like what we need to do at the beginning of the week, and now it's like near the end of the week. It's kind of like things are there's still little pieces that are going to come up at the end of the week, right? Through whatever's happening. And that can also be a personal power moment. It may be stuff, apparently there's still stuff we're hanging on to, guys. So let it go. It comes up first. It is a heart chakra card. Um, yeah, it's interesting though, because this for me, this card is just it's so beautiful with the hummingbirds, um, and and the greenery and just like everything is blooming and blossoming. Um, what I'm really hearing is it's just it's almost like there's a piece of us that needs to let go of the way we thought things were going to look like and were going to be. Um, which is interesting because we also pulled the grief card, and it's a heart chakra card too. So there's still a little bit of heart work to do at the end of the week. My suggestion would be really tap into like what that piece is. And we talk about grief, and I mean, this is like the ultimate grief example, right? All holding her little puppy, and it obviously maybe past or whatever that case is for this person. But like, I'm just seeing it's like this is grief over like the way things should be or should have been, right? Like, um, it's interesting though, because we also got a second heart chakra card too, which is growth. So as soon as we're able to like let this piece go, um, yeah, it's interesting because okay, I get what it's coming up with. What it's saying is like, okay, and I'm gonna read this one first, is like we're fighting against ourselves. Um, because we're not quite in the full new energy, and yes, things manifest really quickly and we need to be working on that. It's like, but we're having this like disconnect, this tricky part where we're just like we're just it's hard to bring our heart into that energy in 5D because it's like um yeah, there's a piece of us that is longing for the old way and just for it to be plain and simple and go back to, the easy whenever it was easy, I don't know. But like the unfortunate part of this journey and this piece of ascension is there's no going back. And we don't really want to. Like once we start learning the truth of you know, of our history, of what we really are, who we really are as energy beings, all of that stuff. Um, it's kind of interesting because I'm getting the analogy of like, like, and I've said this many times, like sometimes, like the fact that waking up to this and then it's like I just want to go back to sleep. It's like, oh my God, it's too hard and it's too messy and it's too awful. I just want to pull my head, the covers over my head and just go back to the way it used to be. But when it once we realize like the old way it's not a good way, right? And it's comfortable and we know it. So it seems like we're kind of getting stuck there and trying to like stay there. And it's tricky because we're not we're not we don't have this fully into this new energy to really understand how we work that energy, right? We're still kind of got a little bit of this dense energy body that this human clay suit that kind of dampens down our light body and our abilities a little bit. um that being said, the last card, so first of all I just want to talk about the fighting card. So it's we have to stop fighting the new. It's not going to come in until we've grieved the old. So we need to let it go so that we can grow and expand. Um, we're almost there. It's just like, just make sure you're doing the work around um, not clinging on to this old life. I know that sounds really crazy, and you're like, how do I even do that? Um, with you in this boat together. I'm like, oh, this can be a tricky one to work on, but we can work on it. We're here to do that. And then the last card we pulled is the answer. So it is intuition. Trust, trust that, yeah, once again, there is a plan. Things are going to work out. Insight, awareness. Awareness is a big one, right? It's just like like I said, we're in this land in between. Um, can't start anything till it's done, till it's burnt to the ground. Um, so awareness and guidance. Again, it's really those moments when it's like when we feel like we're getting stuck or we're clinging on to the past. It's just doing the work of sitting quietly and listening and saying, what do I need to heal? What do I need to let go of? And doing that as the work, right? Instead of fighting ourselves, but we can have great growth. And part of that is like when the grief card, like we have to feel our feelings. We have to go through this process. This process is what leads us to grow. It's not a pretty process. Nobody likes being in grief, but it's like we have to acknowledge and accept that this old. It's funny that it is the Tower card because it's like it is the death and destruction of everything we ever knew. But it's the key piece is that trust piece. We have to trust that what is coming is better on the other side. As we go through it, no, it's gonna look like that. It's gonna be hell. Like it's not gonna be pretty. We know this. But again, like the card from the beginning of the week, I am strong. We came here because we have the strength to fix this, to weather it, to um, grieve the changes, and then have growth and get to the other side and have the new. It's coming. I know. I'm always here with like the news of like, hey, you got more work to do. Really, I don't think you wouldn't be on this planet if you didn't have work to do. Like if you were done all your work, you'd be in a different sort of dimensional space, right? Moving on. All right, let's take a sum up of the week here and see by the end of the week what energy we're kind of sitting in. So I have a feeling, hopefully, it'll just be a little bit lighter after all that. Well, sort of. The judgment card came up. But again, Judgment Day for me is like bring it because if we've been doing our due diligence, living from a heart-based place, doing all our work, um, right? We're part of the ascension then, right? We ascend. That's what happens. I awaken to timelessness of body, spirit, and soul. All illusions are shattered. So yeah, okay, that's interesting though too that came up because with the beginning of the week to now and the tower, like it means this week definitely there's going to be a lot of reveals of stuff. Again, some of them are going to be hard to swallow and hard to hard to fathom. Um, but again, we're strong and we came here to do this. And we have to go through this process of death, grief. The other side is the new energy, and that we can't start using that until we've cleaned up what was happening in the past, right? We're part of this cleanup crew. That's really what we came to do is energetically clean up this mess that we've made of Mother Earth, of the human story, if you want, the history, the all of that. It all has to change, and it is changing, and it is burning to the ground, as you can see out in the outside world right now. But we're the cleanup crew. We came to rebuild and build new and build on a better foundation. Um, that's what we came to do. Oh, interesting. Wasn't perception the last week's theme? Yeah, it was. Or no, it was the moon and the portal. Perception. Interesting. This one I always love too because it's like it's very third eye centered. So intuition. Again, like part of the new thing that is being revealed for us is just how energy based and intuitive we are, right? So this week is definitely, by the end of the week, um, seeing things from a different perspective. That's what's coming in for each and every one of us. So it will be a lot of reveals during the week where it's like, where it's also about the truth of how strong and energetic we are. So yeah, just kind of watch for those. Um, I think it's good news that, like that our perception is increasing, that we're able to perceive particularly the difference between dark and light energy, but also that we're able to perceive when we're being fed lines of BS or, it's funny now when an event happens and then it's actually kind of funny to watch the news sometimes because you're like, and then you watch people's faces and they're like, oh, whoa, perceptions are being changed at like critical levels right now. So, yeah, just go at it with ease and grace this week. Mostly, again, taking care of yourself, but the like minded thing is like the big part of that birds of a feather. Don't, again, I don't have the card because I shuffled them, but that person in the chair, like nothing you say, do, or like no matter how passionate you are about these changes, don't waste your energy on these people. They're on their own journey. You're on your own journey. Um, yeah, it's just we just need to get out there and do our good work in the world. And unfortunately, if it's falling on deaf ears, that's when you really need to make that discernment for yourself and be like, and walk away. Um, it doesn't mean that those people are not going to come along a little bit later, but they're just not there right now. And like it, no matter what you do, it's not going to help. So actually, sometimes, right? What's the saying? If you set something free, if it comes back to you, it was meant to be. It's sort of that mentality. It's like sometimes you walking away might be the trigger or the event that person needs to wake up. So don't, yeah, get together with like-minded people, sharing ideas. We want to be in that creative space, and just by talking about it with other people, it creates, right? It manifests. So we want to be like making sure that we're manifesting the things we want. If we're sitting around talking to people that are like naysaying and pooping on everything you say, um, we're just going to manifest more of that energy. And like, quite frankly, ain't nobody got time for that. Like, we don't have time for that. That person's on their own. They've made their choice. So just save your breath. And again, like they might come around, it might be a year from now, it might be 6 weeks from now, as some of these events start happening and people start to go, holy crap, this is a load of crap, literally, that I'm watching. Like, this is insane, stupid. Like, how did we not see this before? Let them wake up again in their own time. We're not here to wake people up. We're we're here to be there when they do, so we can help explain what's going on. Okay, abundance. Woo! I'm just going to read three of the Christ consciousness for the week because I felt like I wanted to. Abundance. I'm fine with that. Look at this nice little picnic. Yeah, it's coming up too again about the joy thing. We, we're not having any fun. Like this, even though it's crap and crazy out there, we're supposed to be having fun through this process. Um, I don't know about you, but this little like picnic, and then there's a hammock back there. What that just is me. I'm just like, wow, I want to do that. That's the perfect afternoon. Let's go do that. Go do something like that. Whatever it is for you. Um, live your life in joy. Fully enjoy life fully at all costs, because that helps manifest better things as well. And we got this last week too. The Wisdom Bringer Earth School That's why we're here. We're like, the nice part is we're here at Earth School, and if you're listening to this and you're doing this kind of work, is like, guess what? We're almost ready to graduate. Like we're like we're like a dissertation away. Like we've already got it written. We're ready to go. We just have to present it. We're ready to go. We're ready for graduation. We're we're so close. We're so close. All right. And lastly, we got the teacher again. Walk the talk. So again, it's not just about walking the talk, but it's what I said about um, teaching the right people, right? Again, don't waste your time and energy on people that are not there and aren't listening and just they're just not there. Um, make sure you like are finding, or the thing too about being the teacher is if you put it out there that you're here to help and you want to help, then the the student usually finds you, right? That's usually how it works, particularly like I teach Reiki, and that's exactly, I just put it out there that I'm doing it, and I've the students end up coming to me. It's kind of interesting. So anyway, you do have things to teach, and they could just might be like some of the smallest lessons. Um, it's funny. I just flipped this over because I wanted to. I don't know. I wasn't going to do any more cards, but this one says, "I am in tune with the universe." Yeah, like you guys, you are the teacher. You're already doing it. Make sure you have people taking your class that are actually interested in and doing the right thing and that kind of thing. Again, don't take your lessons and take them and push them on other people because you want them to wake up. It's like unless they come to you, just we just have to let it go. Let it go. The let it go card. I know we like, and that's, I mean, okay, that makes more sense too with the grief thing. It's like, it, we're holding on to this thing. It's like, we can't take everybody with us until they're ready. So part of that grief work is going to be around other people in our life. And so it's time to just, um, let them go and see if they fly. And if they might not come back, they might come back. Ooh, says yes, let them go. Anyway, okay, I'm going to wrap it up there because, well, I gotta go. And that's pretty much the messages are pretty clear. So take care of yourselves, take care of others if you can, and we'll see you next week. I love you.